It's the most chaotic time of the year. So this is our last.
That's the best episode introduction ever.
I think it's the only time we've actually introduced.
We started
But yeah,
this podcast.
This is our final. I'm over saying that. Hi, it's Liam and Gabbie. They know.
Yeah, but welcome to Life is Not Real.
This is our final episode of the year.
Is this the final episode of the year? I don't know if this is going to be the last one released, but definitely the year is ending.
I think it will. Let's see. If not,
I'm checking the calendar to see what date are we actually releasing the last episode of the year. The last 30 is on the 26th. Ooh, day after Christmas. Merry Christmas! Merry day after Christmas.
wait, this might actually be our 20th episode.
Maybe. We don't know. Okay, so just a little recap.
Or it could be in Jan.
We hate numbering episodes now because when we first started recording, we'd always say,
This is our second or third, and then
episode.
it's never in order.
Yeah, we realized we sort of shuffle the order just to be like, I don't know, we kind of want to release episodes that are more relevant at the time or having a little bit of more of progression.
And just so it's not all guests than not guests. So
Yeah,
you'll
alternate.
get it when you get it. Just be grateful now that you're getting something and we didn't just stop.
But yeah, so we're not going to number this episode, but yeah, it's maybe the last episode of the year.
Or the first.
Or no, but like what Liam was saying, so the holidays are so chaotic. I think it gets really chaotic right before Christmas.
And then it's just chill.
Isn't it super weird, the week between Christmas and New Year's? It feels like time is not real.
Yeah.
I feel that way.
I know, I find it very weird that, you sort of, you're working, nonstop throughout the year and it just stops.
Like dead.
I find it sometimes stressful. Actually, Christmas is more stressful. New Year's, and this is why I really wanted to do this topic, because I think it's such a good time to sort of reflect
Yeah.
and sort of see and just think about how you want your next year to be. As cliche as it is, I really believe I really believe in manifesting and just I keep saying
Same.
we should do
I
a
love
little mood
manifesting.
board situation for next year.
Yeah, so Liam's been saying we should get together and do physical actual mood boards, cutouts, blah blah, for our goals. And I feel like it's such a good idea. Everyone that does it, I've seen TikToks, I've seen little posts, Instagram posts, and people say they've had mood boards even from when they were teens or whatever.
And it's
then
nice
when
to look at all
when
of
they're
them.
adults, they're wait, stuff in my mood board actually came true.
So should we start this year? We're a little late, but when are we not late to things, But wait, what are you doing for New Year's?
I'm actually gonna be I'm here for Christmas, but we're leaving for Niseko for New Year.
That's so fun. Wait, can you try and find me the JW Anderson Uniqlo?
They need okay. Let's look.
I
Is
asked
it now? Is
Charisse.
it out
She
for
couldn't find.
this season?
I think it's out.
Okay.
My friend Karishma also couldn't find it. So just if you can find it. But no, what am I doing? So I usually go to Baraka every year. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I used to live there. That's really my province. But starting last year, I sort of realized that I wake up on January 1st, hungover. And not that I'm not going to drink, but I sort of want to change. I've been slowly, working out more, eating healthier, focusing more on work, on positivity. So, I don't want to do Baraka this year,
Yeah.
which is a shock because everyone's are you going? And I have to explain to everyone about my whole, no, I'm trying to be healthy. But yeah, I'm trying to, I think everyone says Jan 2 is the first Jan 1. But I think that's the mindset where oh, I can just
Yeah.
move goals back or move things. So Jan 1, I want to start hustling already.
Jan 1 is your Jan 1.
Yeah.
But then everything's still that's what you were talking about. Everything's dead in January though. There's no events. There's no work to do. For us at least.
But I'm going to do a
people
full
aren't.
rebranding. I'm just going to say it. I want to go blonde and I want to have abs.
Are you gonna post the blonde in Jan 1? Is it gonna be
No.
or no? Okay.
But I just want to I think I love sort of like looking back at the year and being like, oh wow, you actually did a lot, and I did, and every year I still want to do more. You know, I've only been in this industry for like 2-3 years, and every year I really see progression, and so I think rather than just waiting for opportunities to come, it's also nice to sort of like your mindset has to be in the right place. you know? And so I really want to start out with a bang and just do something different, you know? Like modeling is getting a little stagnant, or like what other jobs can you get? Or like how can you make yourself look different? Like there's so many, like, especially in my category, there's a lot of like fly-in models now. Like
Yeah.
you're competing with a lot that
True.
I've always said that, like, especially with modeling, it's also about the personality. It's the vibe you bring. And so I think it's time for a little change.
To bring in a vibe change.
Do you want to go blonde?
That's exciting.
Go
No,
blonde.
actually, I was saying, I think I mentioned this in my last haircut vlog. I want to do like a different hairstyle for January. I'm just
Buzz
kind
cut.
of over. No, but like,
Gabby's going to be
oh my
straight next
God.
year, guys.
Straight era. What is this? No, I just wanted like a different look like for the hair because I've always been doing the same. So I don't know, but I haven't fully decided
Yeah.
yet. I've actually talked to like my hairstylist already about it. So she's like, "Oh, I'm so ready to like look for little pegs and
We're
stuff
doing-
and see what you're comfortable with." So I also want to do something different with hair. I feel like for guys, that's like the easiest way to sort of change up your look,
Yeah.
right? Like
Girls,
for the
it's
hair,
sort of,
like they can change the way they do makeup and everything.
But
But
guys, it's sort of harder. But I want to sort of reflect, like, before we go into our goals, like, I sort of want to reflect on, like,
The
how do you
year?
think your year went?
oh my gosh, honestly, 2024 is just like a year of
Did I
unexpected.
just scratch my
things.
nose? Is it bleeding?
No, it's not bleeding
Okay.
actually. No, but I don't know. So much unexpected things. A lot of like goals that I've had for like the longest time that I was able to do. I think my highlight was like going to Paris Fashion Week. I know it's like, oh my God, like why? Like, get over it. But but honestly,
Wait long. There's going to be more episodes on this. We're
But-
not done talking about it yet,
it's
guys.
like my biggest dream. Like since I was a kid, like I think it's like any fashion like loving person will get it. That it's just really a goal that you have. Like it's not even thinking about like, oh, the clout, the views, or like, ooh, the glitz and glam
money.
out of it. It's really just like being there watching shows. Because I've always like growing up, like being into fashion, you always are just so curious about how everything is, and you like dream to one day go there. Like, you know, I've been to Paris like as a tourist, as whatever, but like
But it's such a different-
going
it's
there
so
for Fashion
different.
Week. It's so much fun. I loved it, and that was really like a pinch me moment for me. So I'd say like in terms of like career wise, that's like my biggest goal achieved for the year.
And I think, you know, like, obviously, like, a lot of our dream brands we've worked with in the Philippines already.
Yeah.
And so, like, even though, like, I'm still, like, we're even going to a really cool event tonight. Like,
That's actually my first time working with them officially. So I'm so
yeah.
excited.
But, you know, even, like, with that, like, it can, because the industry's so small and you're around the same people, these opportunities sort of come a lot easier. I wouldn't say easy, but, like, they're well, like,
The more you're, like, on their radar.
But when you go abroad, it's so different because wow, you've sort of made it. There's like one step ahead. You know, you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
did something different. I like did more. So
like
I
on a
get
bigger
it.
scale.
On a
That's how
bigger
it
scale.
feels.
That's why even like with New York as well. Like
yeah, with you.
all our little events that we went to, all sort of, and all the work we put in, like the branding that we did, just having to say no to certain brands and things. That's all sort of led up to a goal of ours.
Yeah.
You know, so. I'm not gonna ever stop talking about it. Like you guys are gonna get sick of it, and I honestly don't care because we're really proud. Like it's hard for small time creators to sort of do that.
I know,
you
like we're not big celebrities.
We're not.
So it's like
we're not even celebrities. I think we're just like normal
yeah,
people.
literally.
You know, so it's a really nice thing. And you know, I always say like even there's a lot of smaller moments that you look back and you're like, wow, like
I'm gonna go through.
we did
to
a lot.
see.
No, I always, at the end of the year, I go through my whole camera roll. I'm not the type person, maybe I'll do it this year, to post about the highlights of the year. But I think it's a good activity. This is the first time we're telling you guys to do something. But it's
Like a
good.
2024 dump or something.
No, not even a dump, but just to go through it and reflect.
Yeah.
Because I was going through it like mentally, like if a month ago, felt like I wasn't doing enough. And a good friend of mine was like, you know what, you've had so many accomplishments these years, this year. And I think like a year seems very short, but it's actually very long. And you can actually accomplish so much. And obviously, like you have highs and lows. And like, let's say like New York or Paris was a high. And then you come back. Just because you're getting off that high doesn't necessarily mean that also all those little achievements aren't just as good.
Right.
you know? And so sometimes it's good to do some reflecting, look back and be like, oh my God, like there's actually a lot of things I actually did.
Yeah.
It just might not seem like it because those bigger events sort of overshadow.
Cloud. Yeah, they sort of cloud the smaller ones. And then, like, I don't know, like in our job also, everything is so fast paced. So you sort of forget that all of this already happened.
Like you sort of move on to the next thing.
so quickly.
Like we can just say it like it's gonna, like we have a Louis Vuitton event tonight. But by tomorrow, like you're already thinking about, oh, like
next
the
thing.
podcast, the next event, the next whatever. So you sort of forget. And so like, I know this year, I've really practiced like trying to be a lot more grateful and trying to be more mindful and trying to just think about so many people would love to be going and doing
To
the
these
things we're
things,
doing.
these things, yeah.
So like we really need to take every moment for granted because who knows, one day you guys might cancel us and we might not be invited to any events ever
No, but yeah, I
again.
think that's a very
You know?
good like thing. Like take a step back towards the end of the year, really just go through it and reflect because like seeing it from that, like taking a step back and looking at it from that point of view, then you become more grateful, you become more appreciative of all the opportunities you had this
Yeah.
year.
'Cause-
And there's so much more good than bad, I'd
'Cause-
have to say.
Yeah, because sometimes I sort of admit that like we sort of just get so used to these like big events that we sort of normalize it in a way.
Yeah.
You know, where we're just like, yeah, like the way we even talk about something, it's like, yeah, we're going to this. But when you think about it, like, oh my God, we did Dior last week. Like we went to a Vogue event. We're going to Louis Vuitton today. Like this is such a big deal, you know? And I always need to remind myself and pinch myself like, wow, this is actually real.
Yeah,
like,
you sort
this
of
is
need to
finally happening.
ground yourself a little bit because
Should
it can
do
get
some
lost in
grounding.
all of that, right?
because it's just a very chaotic
Can you
world.
believe like this Fendi shoot that we did, like the twinning Fendi shoot was just this year? It felt like
Yeah.
so long
Wait,
ago.
that's sort of iconic.
I love that. That's
That
another
is sort of our
highlight.
friendship like hard
Hard
launch.
launch.
Isn't that crazy? No, and that's
Yeah,
why I
that was
love
this year.
posting because you really look back and you're like, oh my God, you did so much. Because it doesn't really seem like that if you think about it.
And then another fun memory when we watched Miss
Oh my
Saigon.
God,
that was so fun
fun.
with Pam, and we had a little sleepover. And then Estee brought us to the after party.
the after party was fun.
Super. And then there's like, guys, this is so funny, but like the after party was like the open buffet at Solaire. So you literally could just get like lobster
Whenever
tails
you
as
wanted.
much as you want.
Everyone was drinking. We're like, let's situate by the
Near
buffet.
the buffet.
And the buffet was
'Cause we
really
hadn't
good.
eaten.
Yeah, we hadn't eaten. Oh no, we had dinner, but like the show's long. We were
Yeah.
tired, and I'm like, I need some energy.
Okay, how about you? What are some of your highlights of
Should I
the
look them
year? Yeah, go through some of your highlights and share.
No, that Fendi. I wanna like. So I actually wanted to pin that Fendi post. I did my solo one just because, like, I don't think you can be in both. Like all my. What was really cool? What I loved BYS. So that was actually a very, like, those 2 months. I went from going to New York, coming back, doing bench. After bench, I flew straight to New York, came back, had shoots and stuff, then did BYS. No, then flew to Africa, and then flew back and did BYS. So that was like very big. Oh my God, our Korea trip.
Oh my gosh, that was also this year. That was so
There's-
much fun.
Oh my God, I keep forgetting. After our Korea trip, I went back to Seoul.
And walked for Seoul Fashion
I walked for
Week.
Seoul Fashion Week, which was my first international fashion
Modeling
week.
gig.
So like, there's so many different things. My Sola campaign was cool. Even like little fun events like Magnum was fun. Was Magnum Matcha this year? I don't think so.
I think it was last year.
I had billboards. I did a Fundador thing. I did a Sledgers thing. I have
I
one
met
coming
Joe
up.
Malone, CBE.
And that's sort of iconic.
Like these are like our moments. Like
You know, it's like you forget about these things because you move on to the next thing straight away.
so quickly.
And so I
yeah.
really, if there's one thing you guys can take out of this, like reflect, because you really, it's an up and down, and like once you're off that high, you're like, fuck, I'm not doing enough. But there's actually like the little ones I think are what I remember more.
Yeah.
Not remember, but like it makes me
There's an
happier
impression
looking
on
back.
you,
Yeah,
yeah.
because those are things like for some reason, I think because we didn't meet at like a big event, I can't remember exactly where we met.
Yeah,
but
we really
now,
can't remember.
like all these things, you remember who was there, what you wore, and everything. And it's just, I don't know, it makes me very grateful. Like, I don't know how next year will top that, but I feel like every year it gets better and better.
Yeah. I think
you
it's
know?
also nice to like sort of, like you're saying, going through your camera roll, because like it's important to see these moments. Like I think I read somewhere before, like the only person you should ever be in competition with is yourself.
Exactly.
So then like if you sort of see like, okay, what have I done this year? You know what I mean? Like what have I achieved? Like my big moments this year. Then you can sort of say like, okay, how can I improve next year? Like how can I be like a better version of myself next year? Because like you're always sort of comparing yourself to just yourself
Yeah.
and be a better version in the future.
So I feel like we've talking a lot about like all the external things. What are like internal situations? Like are
Like
things,
emotional.
Like emotional.
Oh
like,
my God.
I don't think Gabbie's ever cried on the pod. Like let's.
Yeah, you've never, have you teared up?
I feel like I've cried for like stupid shit. Like,
Yeah, but not on the
I
pod.
cried-
Like, cried from laughter? I'm pretty sure we have.
I'm pretty sure I've cried. I've cried. Like hello, I cried at the Drunk Elephant event because I was talking about Wicked.
Oh my God, I love
Like I
Wicked.
cry. Like or if I talk, if I talk about Justin Bieber, or if I talk about like Earth Cafe, like my beauty blended boba.
Yeah, he loves
Like it's
Earth
always
Cafe.
good things.
Yeah, that's good. Like tears of joy.
But do you have any like,
Honestly-
or just like
People always say that like New Year's is symbolic. You can always turn a leaf like whenever in the year. But I don't know. I take it seriously. I'm really like New Year's like this is like a new thing.
but
so
do you get why you have to start on Jan 1 now?
yeah.
Because if you start Jan 2, then it's like fitness. Oh, then I'll start Jan 3. And then it, like you really have to make the commitment
Yeah.
now. And the thing is like I have goals that come throughout the year, but it's good to start out like
fresh
with the
in the
mindset.
new year.
Like,
I feel like you have the time to take a break. The week between Christmas and New Year is your time to not do anything and take a break. But Jan 1, like, let's go. Like, goals.
yeah, because even if you
everything,
wanted to do
ready.
something during that break, there's literally nothing to do.
Yeah, there's like things are closed, people
Yeah.
are gone, everyone's like not working.
Because like
So
we even
you can
still have like
relax.
work next week. Like we keep saying like, oh my god, like this is our last.
That is the last week of
I
like
keep saying this is our
events
big
and
last
stuff.
week where like I
But
can finally
no.
hang out with my friends. And next week seems like
No, next week's
packed.
the real
No.
last week. Or do you have something after?
It has to be, right? The traffic's just getting worse.
Worse and worse.
And I don't
Everyone's going on their
deal.
Christmas breaks. But okay, so here's the thing, like I really take like my New Year seriously. So I always try to
Well,
think like
you've said that like 10 times, so Sana naman,
what do
you take it
I
seriously.
like? What do I want to bring with me in the new year, and what do I want to keep in 2024? And as you know, like I'm leaving some things in 2024 or people.
You might start crying, guys.
I don't cry.
Do you want to explain?
No. Okay, so I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to like keep like people that, you know, like protect your peace in
This
2025.
is your non-formal PR training, like coming into play.
Like I don't know, like you know what I mean? Like people who don't bring you peace have no room in your life. Like they have no room in my life in 2025. And so they're staying in 2024. And that's really just it. I don't like owe anyone an explanation. I just like
Obviously.
I just owe it to myself to choose like my own peace, right? And I feel like everyone
I
does.
love the song Ghost by Justin Bieber. Voila. That's just like it's always one of my top Spotify things.
So,
It's
like,
Ghost.
What are
Ghosting,
some of your
Ghoster.
do you have like New Year's resolution traditions? Like do you have like
And traditions, I don't know, like by November, I'm already thinking. Because I think at the start of the year, like, I don't know, I think we talked about this in our Christmas episode. Like, the holidays is always a very heavy place. Like, there's a lot of joy. But when a lot of joy comes, there's a lot of, like, reflecting, and it comes with a lot of negative
Yeah.
thoughts. So I've already sort of been thinking, like, I don't come up with my goals, like, on Jan 1. you know?
Yeah, exactly. You've started to think of it already as
Yeah.
the holiday season
I know. I just
progresses.
really want to like. I think I've been very focused on work, which is good. But I've sort of lost sight on who I am as a person. That seems very deep.
Aw.
But like, I really want to focus on managing both more. Like, I really want to like spend more time with friends, family, loved ones. Like, I really want to find a way to balance. You know,
Yeah.
because I think, luckily, like we've said this before, but a lot of our friends are now do the same thing as us. But there's a lot of friends, like our high school friends, our college friends, that I feel like
Not in
miss
this
out and they
world.
don't. I'm a very bad like updater. Like I make chica when I see you in person. So I think just finding time to have coffees and stuff, like those are the little moments that I think hopefully next year when we're doing this again and reflecting, you'll be like, oh, those are the moments I cared
Yeah.
for the most. Because I think like all the moments we talked about were all work related,
Right.
which is really good. And I think it's because it's more physical, it's sort of easier to acknowledge. But I think like, you know, when you have a little heart to heart, like, or like a bonding moment, I think those are
I love
things I want to
bonding
focus
moments.
on as well.
Speaking of bonding moments, I think one of my highlights that I didn't get to say is when I flew to Tokyo for the Eras tour. I flew with my bestie Erica, and we were with like our really good friend Tara also, and we just had
And
the
all
funnest
the
time.
Scanios.
Yeah, we bumped into like so many. Oh my god, fun
Pinoys.
facts! We bumped into so many Pinoys in like. Okay, so my friend who lives in Tokyo, she describes it as it's like the Publishon in Tokyo or something, and then. There were so many Pinoys, and then we were like laughing because we were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we're bumping into you here."
Yeah.
Then like a police came and was like, "You guys are too noisy." We
Gabbie
weren't even
almost
that
got arrested,
loud.
guys.
We weren't even that loud. I think Japan is just so like very demure.
Demure.
And imagine it was like a Publishon district. So it was like a drinking area, like bars. And they were like, "You're too loud." And it's not like we were having a full-on brawl. We were just having a laugh. But Filipinos are loud because, I don't know, we have a little boisterous laughter. That's like a Filipino
Boisterous. I'm
trait.
gonna use that.
But yeah, I think like also you're talking about like spending more time with friends. I really make time for my friends, but we don't get to see each other that often because they're also super busy. It's
Yeah.
really the schedule.
So I think like making time, you know,
Making time, like trying to find that common time, or like even just like seeing each other once a month,
or
at
even
least.
just texting or having a FaceTime.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want, and even this goes for my family as well and friends. Like I just don't want them to see all my achievements online. Like I feel like they're smaller or even bigger wins that happen internally that I want to share with them before they see it online, or like I don't want them, like I pride myself in like the friends and family that I keep close to me. So I sort of don't want their perception to just be based off of what they see online.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't seem personal to me. You know, I want there to be something deeper, something more meaningful. So just, I think, communicating in general. Because like we're good communicators, but like it's different when you're talking about work or rather than just like talking about your life. I feel like that's so much harder. Like how do you start, hey, let me
Hey,
talk
this is
about
what's
what
going
happened this month,
on.
you know? You know? It's so
It's
much
also, like,
harder.
yeah, and if you don't get to see each other that often, it's so hard to update them on everything that happened.
Exactly.
Like, there's
I
so
should
much
just
that-
start like a WordPress.
Like a little diary.
Yeah.
And then like, guys, here's the WordPress, here's the password for
Or like a
my
little
close
voice
friends.
note. Like, hey guys. You know? And yeah. But
Oh my gosh, you know what else I want? Like this is like super like not deep or whatever.
another
I
La
want to have
Boo
time
Boo.
for like I want to have time to like watch shows. I really
Yeah.
don't. Like I don't have the patience anymore or even the energy. And like I miss out on so many things that people are like, you haven't watched this or that. It's amazing.
I know. I really want to
time
watch
appreciate
Dune.
the shows.
There are a lot of shows. I don't know. I think because like being in this industry, being a model or influencer, you're sort of in charge of your career. So I always say I'm busy, but I could always say no to something if I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I want to learn to say no. To
Oh yeah,
more
that's
things.
another like learning
Because I
how
feel
to
like
say
we
no,
always feel like
not
we have
feeling
to do
shy.
it. You know, and like
Sometimes you feel obligated. You're like a little shy to say no to this PR that you feel like, oh, I've worked with them. I feel bad if to
Yeah.
say no.
but like sometimes you really need to prioritize
And
like
sometimes you just need like
other
a
stuff.
day off. Like maybe like spend time, like you're saying, spend time with your
But I
friends, spend
think-
time with your family.
mentally I also have to train myself to be okay taking a day off.
Yeah.
You know? Like I want to be able to like call in sick but not be sick.
Yeah. And just
You
like,
know?
no, it's just like a day for me.
And not feel guilty if I'm not doing something. You know? And I think that all stems from sort of being like confident in your work and knowing that, okay, there'll always be another opportunity.
Right.
Because I think we're still at the point where like, again, because we're smaller creators,
We feel
You never
pressured
know-
to like jump on every opportunity.
yeah, because you
that's
never know
thrown at
when
us.
something's sort of gonna end.
Yeah,
or
when
like,
the momentum is just gonna stop.
especially when there's a big opportunity that's always given to a bigger
bigger
celebrity,
creator,
bigger
celebrity,
creator.
yeah.
So I think I need to find a way to sort of trust that what I'm doing is correct. Trust the process, basically.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what we didn't mention? Another highlight of our year is starting this podcast. Like, seriously. That was like one of our goals. I was like, oh my God, why don't we start this podcast?
And the thing is, it's like now we're sort of very used to it. We're like, we come in, we shoot, we're done. The planning, I felt like it was never gonna happen. Like, I really thought that we were just like
same. I thought it was just like a little joke. Like, yeah, let's do it.
no,
but then
because
it was
like
just
you think about
always
it,
in the
like,
drawing board, but
we had-
never
yeah,
coming to life.
We had to find an amazing team. We had to think of the name. We had to think of concepts, guest planning. Like, now we're sort of used to it. And it really feels like we started like a little business in a way, you know, like we planned.
Yeah, and it's also
we did
something
all
that
the
we can
socials.
feel proud of, because whenever we go out or whatever, there's people telling us that like, hey, listen to your podcast. Your podcast is so funny. We
No
love
one
listening
cares
to
about our
it."
content. That's one thing I've learned this year. No one cares about the content because there's just so many people doing it. Like, no, it's something that I can say, like, I'm so glad I did. And like, I love that it sort of holds us accountable. You know, like we show up sometimes and we're very honest with you guys. Like sometimes we're really not in the fucking mood. Like we really like we're just having a horrible day. And it sort of just reminds me at least like how grateful I am to have this platform. And it makes me happy and like and I'm happy for that hour and a half and then I go back to being depressed.
Yeah.
But no, this is and it's fun to do it with a friend as well. You know, like I don't think I could have done this by myself. With our team,
I would
Charisse,
die.
you, and it's fun to like now, like I know, like we can have fun, like we usually get food after, but we can also do this for work. So I just feel like it's making
Yeah.
us feel more productive, better about ourselves, and we've always wanted to branch out. You know, that's always a goal of mine as a creator, and I think this is like the first branch. Like now that
Right.
we feel like, oh, we can do this. What else can we do? The sky's
Yeah.
the limit. You know, you sort of just have to start out with one thing and slowly start doing other things. And also, I need to commend how consistent we've been.
In fairness, we've never had a week off, like, of not
Yeah.
releasing.
And like, this is at least like, I don't know what episode this is, but this is our 20th episode that we're filming.
We're filming, yeah.
So we've done this for 20 weeks, which I don't know, like it was a slow start because people didn't trust the concept, they didn't get it. But I've always sort of given up if like success didn't come straight away. But you know, like it's just so
yeah,
nice.
but
knowing
also
that
to be
we've-
fair, we also got like 1 million impressions in our first month.
I know,
We were
but
so
like,
shocked.
yeah, a million. That is like, it's like, okay, weird, like not deserving joke, but like no, it's just nice
Take
that
the
like
win.
it's finally happening, and now it's easy. Like we don't have to think hard about it. You know, now we can start putting our efforts into something else. Because I always give up straight away. You know, and like. It takes a really long time to build a community, build something, like to get all of our kinks. Like honestly, guys, we had to refilm a lot of our first few episodes because they were not it.
They
like
were
they
not-
were like even Spotify told us do not post this.
Like, no,
so
it's like chaotic. Like
Yeah.
the quality of the audio is not good.
right. And now we made it work, and like I'm very proud. Like every time someone comes up to me, it's always because of the podcast, you know, and like it makes me realize, and it's harder because we see numbers, but we don't see faces. We don't see his comments. Like, so we don't know who's listening to that. Hi to anyone who's
Yeah.
listening to this. So it's just really nice when we get to see it more physically, because we
Right.
usually just film like in the studio or like with a guest, but it's still like you don't get the love as much back. So
Yeah.
like seeing and meeting a lot of you guys, and like when you guys post on your stories, it's just
Yeah, when they
very
share it,
heartwarming.
it's really
very
fun.
heartwarming.
But also, I just wanted to say it. I've also really enjoyed having all our guests on the podcast. I feel like, yeah, it's a really entertaining episode whenever we have
But
a
we
guest.
learn
But
so
yeah, we learn
much.
so much about them, and
Like
these are
Pam Prinster is a Mormon guy, or was like, and even like it's nice that like random people are also trusting to sort of be vulnerable. You know, I think next year I really want to be more open, more vulnerable, and just show that like our whole concept of life is not a real, is that like life is not what it seems online. But I sort of want to change that and maybe change the way I sort of do my Instagram, not my TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but just change. I think I want to bring that sort of concept to life more,
yeah.
not just on this platform. You know?
Just like that in general. Like really embody the life is not a real spirit.
Life is not a real IRL.
Life is not a real ever.
Yeah, you know? But even I
Period.
think goals with this podcast, like obviously I want more guests and I want more episodes. But I
Yeah.
also want to like eventually do more things where we can invite you guys, do something more
Yeah, like invite the
physically.
community that like, you know, because I think we have a very like okay, obviously like it's not like our listens are like, whoa, top podcast ever. But like we do have a very consistent like base that really
people that really listen to
every
all,
week. So
you know?
I think it's yeah, you're right. It's like fun to be able to do something that's more interactive with them.
Should we do a live podcast here? You know, or like a little dinner or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Right?
Like
We'll plan
a
it
little
eventually.
a pop-up podcast. But okay, speaking of, because you just brought up TikTok, so I just remembered. Sorry, but not
I
related.
know what you're gonna say.
What?
You want to actually start posting more on TikTok? That's
Yeah.
not work.
No, yeah.
Every time I'm like, where's the TikTok, Gabby? Where's the
I'm
TikTok?
so sorry. Okay, so I need to share that like TikTok has just been like a little bit, I don't know, like I just don't have time to really conceptualize. And I used to, when I started, I'd post every day. Can you believe? I'd
Everyone's
have, like,
always
an
asking, when
idea
are you
every
doing
day.
this? When are you doing that?
So like now I don't, and I really, really want to be able to do more TikToks starting
Can I just
even
say,
not next year, even now.
wait. So when in Manila, we can keep this. It's so funny. But 2024 rap local celebrity breakups this year. They already put Anthony Jennings in jail. Like that's a little
Wait,
fresh.
I'm so mean. I can't believe I
Wait,
laughed.
I've looked through all the texts
I've
multiple
same.
times. I'm obsessed, and I'm seeing all the different. It's so good. Like I usually give zero fucks. I've been so invested, and even my friend, like my friend Philip, commented like on Jams, like Instagram, like influencer of the year, and I like that. I was like, that's so funny. Like I'm very like. I'm a little obsessed. I think it's really funny. Smoke and fuck.
I know. You miss my body.
It's just so good. Like that. Like
Can't.
I wish, like when I was having my depressive episode, that came out. That would have put me
That
out
would
of my
be your source
depression.
of entertainment.
It was so good. Wait, sorry. Continue.
No, yeah, that's what I was just saying. Like, I
Yeah.
want to post more, and like really make it a point to post like even every day. Like, I hope I can.
I know. I was like in a reels like moment, and I did 5, I think, and then I stopped.
Yeah.
So I just want to, I think actually this year, well, towards the latter part of the year, I realized that I wanted to post more. And people are noticing. Like I post like selfies, like what I'm doing daily, like BTS. So I sort of want to
Liam
continue
also started
that.
posting stories. If you guys know,
I had a
this,
phobia.
He hates them.
I had a phobia
But now he does
before.
a lot of stories.
I know. So I want to sort of get back into that more and do it more physically. So maybe more in the feed. Like I've been posting a lot, but it's still a lot more work. So I want to do more casual things because I think that's when your real personality comes out. You know, you're not being dressed. You're not getting a photo.
Yeah.
It's just like more real. Life is not a real-esque vibes. So I think that's a
Right.
good goal for both of us.
I just sometimes don't have the time to edit. Like
No,
sometimes, like,
or come
during
up
the
with a
day-
concept,
Sometimes
like-
during the day, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take the snippets, and then sometimes like it never sees the light of day, the video, because then I have 100 things after already, like that I have to do now. Because before, like, especially when I started, it was during the pandemic, so I really had the time all day to like, okay, let me conceptualize. Let me make it a point to sit down,
Part-time
make a video.
influencer, part-time baker.
Oh my gosh, my schedule before would be like baking in the morning, and then
Content at
afternoon
night.
is like content, and then edit, and then release at night. Yeah, but that's what I want to do, and I want to do a lot more of like the educational content that I used to do.
If you didn't see his Fendi lollipop things, I was like, finally, like something that was so cute.
I love that my Fendi
Right?
lollipop. That
That
was
was
so
so
fun.
good.
I want to eat one, like, because oh my gosh, the Fendi lollipop only comes with 5 lollipops, so I'm like gonna save it, but it's 5, so I can eat one. I want to taste
Oh, they're
it.
actually lollipops?
Yeah, I'll show you later. I brought it here.
Oh my god, I didn't think they're real lollipops.
No, it's a real lollipop.
Oh my
Like 5
God.
Fendi lollipops.
But you can also like make it a charm.
Yeah, I use it as a charm right now, like the lollipop holder.
I want one, not to eat.
It's so
just to stare at. But no, I think I'm trying to think of personal goals. I sort of said it like
I
sprinkled
do wanna
out.
like step out of my comfort zone a bit more, like make myself more vulnerable.
Yeah, I want to like
Just allow myself, because I feel like I'm
do
so,
whatever the fuck Jacob Brott is doing.
I'm
'Cause
so
it's
like
working.
restricted. You know how I am so restricted, like emotionally.
Yeah.
Like I don't like open up to people as
No,
much.
when he's having a bad time, like a hard time, he'll just be like, "Okay, don't talk to me for 2 days." I'm like, but I talk to like 3 people, so that's like
I
I'm
like
very lonely.
disappear.
I think that's a good one. I think it'll make you feel better, like in the long run.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes like I realize that when you're going through it, like sometimes you always think like, oh, I can do it on my own, but you have friends and family who are willing and want to help you, and if they don't help you, they sometimes feel guilty that they can't
Be there.
be there. So I think it's always nice to a certain degree, like find a balance between like helping, like
Yeah.
asking for help, you know, and I feel like that's part of friendship. And those are, I think, as I said before, like the little things that sort of help you grow as a person, grow with your friends, grow with your families. And those are the things that you'll look back and be like, oh my
Right.
God, that was such a good talk, you know?
True.
What else?
Do you have anything else?
Well, I want to find a way, I always say this, to monetize like everything that we're doing more. Not just on the
Yeah.
podcast, even Instagram. Like, obviously, I want to grow my community more, not even just for the followings. I just want, obviously, that's like part of it. But I also just want, I think if we're putting in the effort to do all of this, I want the right people to sort of see it and hopefully feel inspired. Because again, like, I think when you're smaller creators, people don't comment as much. Like the random ones won't comment. It's always
Yeah.
our friends. And so I sort of want to get to a place where like people are willing to comment. People can come to me for
I
advice.
get
Like I
you.
want to
Like
it
a
to
more
be more of a discussion.
interactive
Yeah. I want it to
audience
be
and
more of a
community.
discussion. Like, cause like, yeah, like sometimes you're like, you post something and you don't realize like how you can help someone. So I just want to bridge that gap a little more, you know, just so that you're growing with your audience as well. And I think that's very important as a creator, because I think when you're bigger, there's no real like conversation that's being held. That's why I always say I never want to be big where like you lose out on those real interactions.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to find a way to sort of grow. Obviously like money is good, but that's not the end goal. But like if I could monetize a little more, that wouldn't like
Exactly.
so I think that's a goal.
Do you have other goals that?
Grab it. Why is it all me?
No, I'm gonna share also, but
Okay,
like I'm
go.
just like steering it to this direction, like things we should look forward to in 2025 that we want to share to people listening.
Well, I think my blonde era is going to be fun.
Yeah.
So I've gone blonde, I've gone blue, I've gone purple, green, pink, but I sort of want to go blonde and stay blonde for a while. And that means going to the salon
Fun.
every like week and a half. But I sort of just want to like, because sometimes as a creator, I don't know, you feel like, oh, you're not doing enough, or like, so I think this is more of a physical thing to be like, okay, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to stick to it,
Yeah.
be consistent. And yeah, I just want to like grow more as a model as well. I want to do more, maybe even travel abroad to model.
Oh my
That's
gosh, you
something-
should do it. That's so
But
fun.
I don't want to stay in a modeling house. That's
Stay
my,
with a friend or something.
Yeah.
You have like friends
but
all
I want to
over.
like discover that more. Like modeling doesn't last forever. And so while I'm young, I sort of
Yeah.
want to like
well, you have
travel.
your youth.
But I always say I only really like to travel if there's some sort of work opportunity. So maybe modeling for that. Obviously do more fashion weeks. We're slowly sort of talking about it
Yeah.
already. But I don't want to jinx anything because nothing is confirmed. But more of that. And just sort of take what I'm doing to another level. You know, I want to like... We've been... The last few weeks have been very good for us. We've done a
Right,
lot.
yeah.
But I want that to be every day. Like I love what I do. I want to create. I want to get my mind going. I want to think more and just like constantly be creating. So whether work or even personal stuff, I want to find a way to just push out more content, you know, and just be proud of what I'm putting out,
yeah.
you know? So I think that's a big one. I'm going to turn it back to you.
Turn it back to me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you know what's so random? I just thought of it right now. Like, life is not a real merch would be so cute.
Oh my God. With Siobhan's face.
I feel
on
like it's super
it.
cute that like even people who don't listen to the podcast might want, because I feel like the branding of Life is Not Real is so cute.
Well,
Like the
you know,
logo
a
and
goal of mine
everything.
has always, well, I had a clothing brand before, But I sort of want to maybe bring that back. I don't know if next year is the right year because I think everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to like do a Mark Fernay, Manu Rios Sitch, like real clothes, not just merch would be cool, a good start. But I want to do real clothes.
Yeah.
You know, maybe collaboration with different design. I don't know, something like that. I definitely, that's always been a goal of mine. But I never, and even with this podcast, like we delayed it multiple times. It's supposed to come out August or July. Like
July, I think.
I think
yeah.
July, and we delayed it until we found it was the right time.
No,
And
because we
so-
wanted to make sure that everything was like, you know, really good. We didn't want to just like, oh, we want to start a
Yeah.
podcast. Let's release the first episode. Like, we wouldn't care
Yeah.
about the quality, the format. Like, we want to make sure that, you know, anything we put out is like good enough.
Yeah,
Like, not
so-
just anything.
That's sort of not like, but the thing is, I don't want that to stop me in a way where like I'm afraid to do things because
Yeah.
I'm coming up with excuses and saying that I'm not ready. So I need to sort of balance those two feelings and find a way to sort of do it at the right time, but don't allow that to be an excuse to not do something.
Right.
So I don't know, like I feel like we're gonna like after this episode, like I feel like I'm gonna reflect more and figure
Yeah,
out what
even
physical
more.
things.
But I love that we got to
'Cause-
reflect.
Because normally we don't really plan. Like I should have come up with a list, but I think it happens naturally. Like I don't think like people always come up with lists and don't actually do them. Like there needs to be purpose. There needs to be meaning behind, like
Yeah.
why you're doing these things. So it takes a while to reflect, you know. And again, not everything has to be done or like planned out by Jan 1, but it's just you want to constantly have that mindset where like how can I do better? How can I do more? You know? Cuz like again, not all opportunities you can do on your own. Sometimes things have to be given at the right place, right time.
Yeah.
So like you need to sort of focus on what you can do and sort of manifest and hope that other good things will come, you know?
How do you manifest? Like, what are some of your like
Oh
manifestations?
my god.
techniques?
Sometimes I get on this TikTok thing where like it's like you're a Virgo, this is gonna happen.
Oh my God.
But
And
like,
then, like share with a sound. Like you could use the sound even as
Yeah.
private. Those are the funniest things.
sometimes I have lists, sometimes I really just think about it. But I wanna now
Sometimes I write it down.
I wanna
like physically.
I wanna physically start writing things down. But I wanna find a way that I can be more consistent about it.
You know, when I started TikTok, I wrote down like you're going to Paris, something like that, like on a notebook.
Yeah. So
I
I,
do
want to
it.
be
I
more
like
physical
writing.
about it just so that like it's present. Like I feel like yes, like maybe I'm Gen Z and I use the notes thing, but I think that's not like it just becomes another list in your notes.
Yeah,
Like I want it like
I think it's
By
different
my
when it's like it's
bedside,
physically there.
you know?
People said it has to be physically there. I also had this thing
I'll
like
write on my white walls.
you need to have like you have to be like fixated with the thing.
Mhm.
When I was in high school, so like one of my goals, like I wanted to get like a 4.0 GPA one semester. I was
My
so fixated
God.
with the number 4. As in like I did like I'd knock in 4s, like everything was like 4, 4, 4, 4, like that. And it happened that semester.
Look at you, smarty pants.
That was in high school.
College, no.
I never got 4.0 in college.
Pepperdine was hard. I passed though. More
That's
than pass.
good.
More than pass, yeah. But should I?
Yeah,
Should
we
we
all
play
more
a
than
game?
passed naman. Yeah, I think it's time for
How
a
long
game
has it been?
now.
Well, I'm over this convo. We're gonna play a game.
Yeah,
Joke.
we're gonna play a game. I
Joke
think it's been a
lang.
while. We've been talking. We've been rambling for a while.
It's time for a game.
Game time. Oh my gosh. Chris.
So
Micah
today's game is make your New Year's pick. So you're just going to pick between these two possible New Year's resolutions, which
Ooh.
one you want to do over the other.
Okay.
So first one is set a fitness goal such as running a marathon or establish a wellness goal like reducing stress.
Wellness.
I'm fitness. I say this every year. I think I sort of started this little fitness journey like November. I'm changing. This is why I worked out today.
ASMR it, girl.
Yeah, I want to like find a way to be more sustainable about the way I work out. So rather than working out every day, work out like 3 to 4 times a week.
And you're
I-
consistent.
but I'm more
at it.
consistent about that. Trying to be like smarter with my food, which I'm really good, but like not feeling guilty about it. So just So I think with fitness, like rather than setting like, I'd love to run a marathon one day. But, well, I don't know if my joints can, and my gout. So maybe not, but I want to find a way to super implement it into my life. Like I don't want to ever feel like, oh, like I have to do this. Like I want to wake up and want to go to the gym. You know? Like I don't think I get stressed. I think I get stressed when I'm like, I get stressed, but I think nothing that I can change. Right? I don't think it's like
Yeah.
things I can change. And I'm not a relaxer. So I don't think I can like relax. Like that's not gonna help.
Wellness.
But the stress also sometimes it's like a little heart moment. Like, I'm not gonna make it to the show. Like it's like a fun stress, you know?
like, okay, so it's just, I actually think like maybe I should have a fitness goal because I'm like the least fit person on planet
He doesn't
Earth.
walk.
I don't walk. I don't do any of that. But it's like also if I'm gonna have a New Year's resolution, like I only ever have SMART goals. So then like that's
Things
not
that you
real-
know you can do.
Yeah, it's not realistic for me to have a fitness goal, I think. But I'd love to. I think I need to. But if ever, it wouldn't be intense as like marathon
Yeah.
or like.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
maybe like a simple routine. Maybe I should add that. A
We should
simple
start
routine that I can.
walking. Should we do an episode while we're just on a treadmill?
Yeah, okay, we can do that if we want to like.
It might be
make
the
sure that
shortest episode.
I'm like running out of breath.
Like 10 minutes. Yeah. But that sounds, yeah. So
Or we can even do episode like literally walking. No, because that's
they're
the thing.
gonna have to move
Oh,
with us.
yeah.
And the
no,
mics.
You know, this is why I'm not that into like super fitness stuff. I could never like survive just being in a regular gym or whatever. Like, I want to see things. I want to be like, ooh, fun.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Now, next is reduce your carbon footprint or limit your screen time.
I'm not limiting my screen time. I'm not even
I
gonna
can't
act.
limit my screen time. So the carbon footprint, I think you can do it in like little ways. Not that you're fully reducing
No
it
PJs.
intensely.
I don't ride on PJs, by the way.
But, like-
but
Just simple ways like carpooling.
okay.
We
let's
do
connect.
that.
Let's
We
we
carpool.
carpool. Let's connect. Let's walk more so we use your car less.
Okay. Yeah, there. True.
Right?
That's a good goal.
I'm gonna I can't say that. Never mind.
There's other ways. I think also like when
Okay,
that
we
episode
gotta
talked
we're
about-
gonna brainstorm on this.
We also talked about like shopping less. That's also reducing carbon footprint.
Yeah.
Like we shop more mindfully. So where?
And like when they say, "Do you want to pay for the paper bag?" You say yes, and no plastic bags. Well, in Makati they don't have plastic anyway. So
Bring an eco bag. There's so many cute eco bags
Yeah.
now. Like Uniqlo had the Anya hand merch
it's
collaboration.
really nice.
It's so good. It's 990 only for like it's packable in the eye thing. So cute.
Just see, and you can make it fashion. You can
Yeah.
find a way to still
look chic
look chic.
while saving the turtles.
Okay.
But I really had to get my Murakami. That's another thing I'm looking forward to in 2025. By now, you already know Murakami is back. After 20 years, LV Murakami.
They finally announced yesterday.
Yeah.
Not that
Unfortunately,
people
the
didn't know.
pre-orders are closed now.
Gabbie got it all.
No, I only got like two. I only pre-ordered like 2 bags, but I pre-ordered on the very first
But
day.
you got both the
that
black,
we
right?
planned. No, it's all black, and then the other one's white. We can have the same,
I-
not different.
Judging the white.
But
The
there's
white's
gonna be
basic.
second drop, which is like the cherry blossom, and third drop, which is like the cherries.
I think the
Insider tip.
I like the cherry blossom ones. I feel like that's.
It's a
gonna
bit
be fun.
intense. It's a bit like super cutesy for me. Like it's
Really?
so pink. It's so like there's like a little cherry blossom. You know what I mean? Like there's a face.
But it's
Like it's not
cute,
just a cherry
yeah.
blossom. There's a face on the cherry blossom.
It's nice once. It's not long term. See,
Yeah.
you're shopping sustainably. I'm so
Exactly.
proud of you. You're already starting.
Next.
Cut back on caffeine or aim to get more sleep each night.
I'm not cutting back on either.
I can't
I
cut
barely
back,
sleep,
but I'd love
and
to
I've
get
already
8
had
hours.
3 cups of coffee today. Huh?
I'm not gonna cut back also, but I'd also love to get 8 hours. I think. Like,
I would
that's-
love to
that's
get 8
my
hours.
Choice.
I want to. Well, guys, I have a serious addiction to let me sleep. Shout out Courtney. But I'm scared.
Does it help?
Yeah, like I dream. Like I'll take one
Wait,
during the
I
day
want that.
for
I want
funsies.
dreams.
For funsies, and I'll dream like 3 p.m. I'm like dreaming.
That's good because you get into like
But
that level of
sometimes they're,
sleep.
but it's mostly bad dreams.
Oh shit! Okay, never
But I don't. I
mind.
think that's just my mind. I think that's just my mind.
It's just the mindset
Like
that
Lemmy
you're
can't
in.
dictate what fucking dreams you're having.
Yeah.
You know. But now, like, I think they got recalled. But you know, when things get recalled, it's because they're just that damn good. You know. But Baka should join the class action lawsuit. Maybe get some money
You
out
guys
of
don't
it.
there's like this website or app, right, where people like register for the class action lawsuit,
And you can get
then,
like $5,000.
Yeah, and then this girl was like, I didn't even, I just like signed up for it, and
But
then
it takes
out of
like
nowhere
4
she got
years,
like how many
like
$1,000,
and they'll just
yeah,
send you
'cause
the
it took
money.
so long, but you get money. So
But I
it's
think
fun.
that's American.
Yeah, you have to be like
citizens now.
US. Yeah.
I'll just put in my like friends. Yeah.
Okay, last question. Focus on self-love or finding love.
I don't know actually. You know what? Honestly, okay. So I never like try to find love. It'll happen if it happens. But also, like, I feel like I have a lot of self love already. Like I love myself.
I'm just gonna say self-love because I think if you love yourself, then you can
Then you can give love.
You can give love back.
That's
and
true.
this isn't just like a relationship, like friends, family.
Everything.
Like friends and family will know when you're going through it, you know? So I think you always need to find a way to be confident in yourself. And I think everything we've said are all goals to sort of get there.
Exactly.
Right? I think we're gonna leave
Summed
it
up
at that.
perfectly.
Should we sum up?
Yeah.
I know.
So-
Well, I'm very excited for next year.
Super.
By the end of the year, I'm always like, okay, I'm fucking over it. Like, I want it to be 2025. I think because it's 25, it's like a quarter. I think it's gonna be a good year.
2025 sounds so nice also
And
as a
Sanaman
year.
brands can't say anymore, oh, it's still the pandemic budget. Girl, the pandemic ended so fucking long ago. And I want everyone, I think this year I was too centered around sort of having myself grow. And I think next year I want everyone around me, even strangers, to grow and to succeed. So let's work on this economy, guys.
Yes. And I am like excited for more brands coming. I know a lot of brands are coming in this 2025. A lot of new things opening.
And I just
fun.
think Manila is like really thriving. And it's just going to get more and more. And as the city, the country thrives, we can thrive. And like, yeah, I want to give it back and make sure that everyone around me. So like being less competitive with people and just focus on yourself. And that's all that really matters. And then everything else will sort of work out. Everyone around you, you know?
Yeah.
Do you have any parting words?
My parting words, I think, I don't know. I'm really excited for 2025. I think what we mentioned, now, like when this episode comes out, it's really the best time to sort of like look back on your year and, you know, like take the time to, it's like a pat on the back, like everything I've achieved. And you know what? The things that didn't go your way, it's also something for you to look at, like, okay, how can I improve next year? You know, this
Yeah.
is the time of the year where you don't have to think about what to do next. Like you can actually take a break and take a step back and view your year from like that perspective.
Yeah, it's okay to take a little break, you
Yeah,
know, and like
it's-
that's one thing I'm learning. Like, I'm giving myself like 2 weeks of like slow time, but like, just don't get too used to it, you know. Like everyone, no matter like if you're a nepo baby or like, everyone should be hustling, and it's fun and like I know I'm so grateful for what I do, but it's nice to sort of hustle more and like not just wait for
Right.
opportunities. And I hope everyone has that sort of mindset. You know, even if you're at the top of the game, there's always more you can do. And if it's not physically, maybe it's more emotionally or something more internally that you want
Yeah.
to start to do. So we're always constantly working on each other. You know, we're both not perfect. And I think just like every year you can reflect on the good and the bad and learn from that.
Yeah.
And it's like a nice mindset to sort of have.
My favorite New Year saying, New Year wish is always, may the best of this year be the worst of next.
That's so good. I think we're
Sounds
gonna
so
end it there, guys. That should be the title.
Yeah, true. Actually,
It's a
it's a
good
cute
title.
title. But yeah, that's always my wish for
It's
everyone.
our first like serious title, right?
Yeah, all the titles are like a little quirky, funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, good. We don't have to think now.
Yay! But thanks for listening. Like not just to this episode, but like our podcast in general this year, whatever episode this is.
And you know,
by
it's
the
just
time
the
it's out.
beginning. Like I can't believe we've already done 20. Like I think
Yeah.
I think this is the perfect. Whether it comes out as our 20th episode, we're filming
It's the
this as our
year-ender,
20th.
so it's perfect.
And that's a very big milestone, you know, like we've done this 20 times and I'm ready to do this 20 more.
And again, thanks to our guests for like joining us, opening up, and
to the
we've
ones
had
that
a
haven't
blast.
responded, I'll see you at LV later.
No, we'll see them in 2025.
See them in
Let's, like,
2025,
manifest that.
yeah. We're gonna
They'll be
manifest
on our
it.
podcast 2025. So yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.